Hey guys, I'm Michael Newrock, and I'm just considering taking a trade. It's on a buy on the dollar-yen 4-hour time frame. You can see that overall direction is up. 4 out of the 6 high time frames are pointing up. Just looking back, just take the scroll off. Looking back, you can see that we've had some nice moves to the downside as well as to the upside. Now we're looking like we've got a good trend trade in play. We've got the fast moving average just over the slow moving average. The trend follower has just changed from red to green. We've got price sitting way above the fast moving average, but not too high. The RSI is above the 50, the MACD is above the zero line, and the stochastic has already crossed over. So all my indicators are in alignment for an upward trade. All I have to do is click yes. My trade assistant alert pops up when I do have a trade opportunity existing. So it's 70 pips risk, and you can see there about 75 pips to the recent high, and then about 190 pips to the ultimate high. So I've got my trade management in place, but in this case, and I can change this anytime, but what I'm going to do is just change it now, right at the beginning of the trade. Again, it doesn't matter when you change it, but just in case we get some nice moves, I'm going to change it now. So 70 pips, I'm going to change the first move to from 100, and on the third move I'm going to change that to 180 pips, because of course that is just prior to the 190 pips on the ultimate high. And the second move I'm also going to change that to 120 on my first and second position. So you can see there that I've been able to change the positions or change the targets of when profit locking is going to occur. And it's important to always place those targets just prior to those recent highs or points of resistance. So 70 pips right there is when my first target is hit and my first profit locking will occur. 120 pips just around here, and then of course 180 pips just prior to that ultimate high on this time frame. So that is where I'm going to trigger my profit locking, and on the third target my trailing, using in this case the moving average on the first position and parabolic SAR on the second position. So all looking good, but only time will tell. Only the market can give us a positive result. So until the next update, I'll see you soon. I'll just pause right now, come back as soon as we have one. Okay, so about $1,600 in profit already. It's only been about 10 hours since I took this trade. We're currently reached almost 80 pips, and currently sitting just under that. I've locked in around 55 pips on my first position, 40 pips on my second position. That's happened automatically, of course, by the Trend Profiteer trade management system. So based on the new settings that I inputted before, 120 pips is about here. Okay, that's where my second profit locking is going to happen. That's where I'm going to lock in more pips. That's where I'm going to lock in more profits, which is, of course, at the end of the day, what this is all about. So my position has improved as far as it's now 5 out of the 6 high time frames are pointing up with an overall upward direction. There's over 100 pips, just over 100 pips to that ultimate high. So I'm going to be targeting that and doing everything I can. Of course, I can't really do anything other than watch the market unfold, but be prepared. And I've done that already with my trade management. Of course, I can supervise it from time to time and adjust things, or maybe lock in profit sooner. But at this stage, I'm going to sit back and come back in a couple of bars time when hopefully we'll have another update. So we'll talk to you soon. Okay, so my first position has been closed out, $631. It got taken out on this recent correction, but fortunately my second position is still live, currently just under $660 right now. So the first position has been converted from equity into capital. That's great because it's built my account up. The more money I have in the account, the stronger I am. So we've hit just on 100 pips as far as its high, and my stops are locked in for my second position, so there's not a lot I can do. The position is still good. 4 out of 6 of the high time frames are pointing up. So obviously, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. In this case, I've done that. Profits are locked in. My first position has been closed, converted to capital. Now it's just a matter of seeing how long this position, the second position, can stay in the game for. I'm going to pause right now, come back as soon as I have an update. Okay, here we are back on the dollar yen on the 4 hour, $631 taken out or closed on my first position, turned into capital. There it is right there. It started, of course, both in the same position and closed out here, just in that little correction. Now, since then, we've had a swing to the upside, which is good. My second position is now hovering at just under 1,400 bucks. Was it 1,376? So there's 180 pips right there. That's where I need to get to trigger my trailing, on this trade. So let's see how we go. I'm going to pause right now and come back as soon as I have another update. Alrighty, back on the dollar yen. First trade's been completed, of course, as we saw in the previous update. My stop has been moved in accordance with my trade. So 630 converted into capital, and take a look at the second position. $1,484 right now if I close this moment. 1,490, so it's bouncing around a little bit. Now it came just shy. So far, it is just shy of my 180 pips that I need to trigger activation. So we got to about 157 pips, and 180 pips is around here. Okay, so the last bar and the current bar have been moving down. Now, it may continue to move up, but there's a lot of money on the table right now. All in all is about $2,100 between the closed trade and this position. So I'm going to modify the second position to have it stop at 114.05, and that gives me a little bit of room to move, but it also locks in some profits. When the money gets bigger, even though this is on a one lot trade, it's still serious money. $1,500 is $1,500. I can think of a lot of things I could do with that, and I'm sure you can too. So, right now, I'd like to lock in some profits, and we may be experiencing a bit of resistance, but I don't really care at the end of the day because all I care about is the end result. So I've decided to lock in some profits, and let's see how we go. Overall, it's still upward. It's strongly upward. In fact, it's 5 out of the 6 high time frames are telling me that this trade is going up. RSI is still above the 50, MACD's still way above the zero line, and the stochastic, arguably is looking a little overbought. But price at the end of the day is what's going to dictate which direction this trade's going to go. But I'm happy with my decision. Profits are locked in, and whatever happens now
That's
happens.
exactly
why
I
locked in profits
come back with
before.
another update
Both
as
my
soon as I
positions
have
are
one.
closed. What are we? 11, 17, $1,780. So great result. You can see the entry of my trades with my first position and my second position just here. So really nice trade at the end of the day. Monetary wise, just under 1,800. Yeah, just under $1,800. Overall, it's upward, but you just never know what's going to happen. And the price came crashing down and took my position out. So it's hovering right where my stop is right now. But look, come join me. I'm looking forward to sharing the software with you, all the resources, the tens and tens of hours of training modules that I've recorded for you guys to help take you to the next level to be a consistently successful trader. And I look forward in being part of your journey. So until next time, good trading, live well, and I'll see you soon.